Hi, so I'm Mike, and as the title says, this is a very quick and honest review of the Orangewood guitars. This is the Victoria model. I got it in the mail less than a week ago, and if you've been following them on YouTube, they've been getting a lot of pretty positive buzz. But most of the videos are ones they put out themselves, or one that Paul Davids does of their most expensive model. This is actually their least expensive model. Is $125, and I had a 10% off coupon, so it was actually even cheaper than that. So on their video, they have a guy doing fingerstyle with a really nice condenser mic, and I thought, wow, that sounds pretty good for what it is. But to me, cheap guitars can always sound good when you pick them. It's a matter of if you give them a good strum. So I figured I would just strum around a little bit and then share my thoughts, and yeah, so no more talking. One more thing to note, the tuners on it are relatively inexpensive. If they are 18 to 1 turn ratio, then they're not very good. But, you know, that's, if you like the sound of the guitar, you can buy a nice set of Grovers for like 50 bucks, and that fixes that. So, each one comes with a little setup card, by the way, saying who set it up, and they sign it themselves. And I will say my biggest complaint about this guitar is actually the way that it came set up from the factory. It, like most guitars in need of a setup, starting around the 5th, 7th fret up to the 14th, ride pretty high, and I assume the rest is pretty high. It's just not very accessible up there, but it's hard to do really quick runs with this setup. Yeah, you can probably even hear it there when I went to do the whole bend. And I play, you know, 10 or 11 gauge strings on my electric and 13s usually on my acoustic. I think this has 12s on it. And by the way, it says that it comes with premium Ernie Ball strings. And I'm not a fan of Ernie Ball strings on acoustic or electric, so I'll be interested to see what it does to the tone of the guitar the first time I have to change it. Although it does look like they are maybe the coated Ernie Ball acoustics, which I've never messed with those, so maybe those are a little different. Yeah, see? Couple bends and it's out of tune. It did amazingly show up in tune after being shipped here from California to Cincinnati. And I will say that it does come with a very nice gig bag. I know some people just shrug off a gig bag, but to me, honestly, unless you're going in the back of a truck and going cross country, most guitars don't really need a hard shell case. And especially for electrics, I really just prefer moving around in a gig bag. But I want a nice one. This one is nice. It's padded. It fits the guitar quite well. But yeah, so as you can see, if you play this guitar very gently, you get a very nice sound out of it. I think the closest thing I would compare it to is maybe the Big Baby Taylor, and the big difference here being Big Baby Taylor is maybe 450 bucks, 500 bucks, and this is 125, including shipping. And they said, you know, basically go crazy with it. You know, take it to gigs, play it how you normally would, and for 30 days, if you're not happy, send it right back. So I like a company that stands behind their product. And yeah, so I don't know if you can see in the background, but my primary acoustic is a Martin D18. I've also got a 20-year-old Cedar 6 Seagull that I've played since I started learning guitar. And so I've got, one in the 2,000 something price range, one in the 500 price range, and now I've got one in the 125 price range, which is not really a void I was looking to fill. I just couldn't believe the reviews I was seeing for the price, and the craftsmanship on it is a little better than I expected, but doesn't blow me away. Obviously, on the 125, you lose there are no real bells and whistles, but decent binding, decent wood. It has a pretty good sound. So I feel really comfortable playing this at a bar or something like that, where honestly, on a bar, on a beach, somewhere where if it gets ruined, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, and it's going to sound good enough that I won't be embarrassed. The only real complaint I have against it is, like I said earlier, the lack of setup. And I can see here, I mean, it was signed as a setup, but the bridge piece, it doesn't have any filing or anything in it. So whatever setup they did, it was not particularly tailored on this guitar. So anyway, there it is. Hope you enjoy that. If there's something I can say about it or show about it that would be more helpful, feel free to tell me. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed this.